This is not my usual womb hell video, but I feel that I need to lend my voice to the struggle. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. Yes, I said it, president. Okay, I don't care what anybody has to say that he doesn't deserve the presidential title because he took it illegally by coup. Who cares? Do you know the corrupt, evil, wicked leaders that was in parliament when he took over? That was stealing from the people? If you see some of the poverty in Burkina Faso, you have to say, do these people have a heart? To be able to see such poverty, yet be piling money, these politicians, into their bank accounts and going abroad to be educating their children abroad, going abroad for medical care and private jets and all of this, and you are seeing the poverty of the people. Doesn't this... I can't even speak. You know what? The English is not Englishing. Hey, Lord, the English is not Englishing. My Ghanaianness is coming out of me because I'm that enraged. This guy has come in less than 3 years, 3 good years. He has cancelled. He's paid off the nation's debt. He has set up businesses, infrastructure, tomato manufacturers. He has produced his own gold. The farmers, he's given them seeds. He's nationalized farming. He's manufactures electric cars. You know, if I was to say all the things that he's done, we'll be here till Jesus comes. The amount of things this man has done. And he's only 36 years old, by the way. And you, Trump, you orange-faced Trump, you want to come and arrest him. Arrest him for what? You're saying that, oh, he's a dictator. Excuse me. If you want dictator, I can deliver dictators to you. There's plenty of African leaders that are dictators. Why don't you arrest them? Why don't you arrest the president of Congo? Why don't you arrest him? Why don't you arrest some of these African leaders that are corrupt, that are plundering the country, that's allowing you to plunder the country, that's selling the resources for cheap? Why don't you arrest them? Why are you not fast to go and arrest these people? But this man who has revolutionized his country, who does that? On Mother's Day, he went to visit the widows, gave them hope, gave them money, to the point that the widows are protesting that they do not want him to step down. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm calling all Africans, Caribbeans, African Americans, Australians, the Aborigines, Native Americans. I'm just calling all of you guys to get behind Ibrahim Traore. Don't let history speak ill of us. We missed it with Thomas Sankara. We sat back and we didn't do anything. We missed it with Patrice Lumumba. We sat back and we didn't do anything. We missed it with Gaddafi. We sat back and we didn't do anything. So many leaders, we sat back and we didn't do anything. Don't let history speak ill of us. Let our descendants be proud of us because we did something. Whatever you can do, even if it's small, do it. If you've got funds, fund the government. If you can go and visit there and give them your tourist money, go and visit the country. Don't mind Trump saying, oh, it's a dangerous country and you could get attacked. What about America then? Isn't your country dangerous? Come on, get out. Isn't your country dangerous? Visit the country. Yeah, if you can't visit the country, then at least forward posts, educate people, forward this one, forward other videos, put it on your WhatsApp, put it on your feeds. You know, spread the awareness, lend your voice to the struggle. Whatever you can do, it doesn't matter how small it is, do it. Look what happened when Ukraine went to war. People were changing their Facebook profiles to Ukrainian flags saying, oh, we are with you, Ukraine. Look what was happening in Palestine. Why can't we do it with Africans? We need to demonstrate. We need to put our foot down and say enough is enough. We're not going to take this rubbish anymore. Meanwhile, Ghana and Nigeria are fighting on jollof wars, and this is going on. You have energy to fight jollof wars. You've got energy for that. but you don't have energy to lend your voice to Ibrahim Traore, or you don't have energy to share and to post. My friend, no. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. We have to, Africans, we need to show these people. We need to show these people that you can't bully us anymore. The new generation is different. You can't do it anymore. Who's with me?
Hello. I want to speak briefly about Burkina Faso and their president, Ibrahim Traore. As an African-American woman, I am so proud of President Traore and so happy for the people of Burkina Faso. I want to state for the record that African Americans have nothing to do with any assassination attempts, any destabilization of the country, or any criticism of President Traore. I don't know any American, and I don't know every American, but I don't know any American that even knows who General Michael Langley is. I actually just found out who he was 2 days ago. But when you see black people being put in a position like that, and then turn on their heels to criticize another leader in another country, that is by design. And they do not speak for us. They are ruining the reputation of African Americans globally, making people think that we feel this way. We have our own problems in America.
There's a lot going on right now in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traore and the attacks on his life. Over 20 of attempted assassinations on his life, even one just recently. People are trying to gather together to save his life, which makes great sense because out of all of the African leaders, he has shown himself to be the most trustworthy, the strongest, the most focused. My issue is not supporting Ibrahim Traore or the president of Mali or Niger. My issue is the invite to Burkina Faso for African Americans, black folk, okay? Ghana did the same thing. And what happened to the black people when they went to Ghana? They have been mistreated, so many of them. You never know how much so many Africans don't like black Americans, yet they benefit off of the plight of African Americans. Muhammad Ali made a statement some years back saying, if there is 1,000 snakes coming to bite me, and I have the opportunity to run in the house and close the door to save myself, and out of that 1,000 snakes that's coming to bite me, there's 100 snakes that doesn't want to bite me. They are not against me at all, right? Should I stay outside and hope that that 100 will gather together and come and save me from the other 900 snakes? Or should I just go ahead and protect myself and go in the house and close the door? That's the issue with Africans all across the continent, is there are those few that have no issue with black Americans, but there is that 900 that can't stand us, that hate on us like there is no other hatred to be hated on. So many black Americans are finding out in Ghana right now that they are not welcomed and that they're there to be used to build the economy in Ghana. That's the same thing around so many different African countries that choose to, send us that message of come home, come home. But unlike what happened in, I think it was 1942 during the Olympics, or was it 1945? One of those, where Adolf Hitler, to prepare, the white folk for black folk coming and to perform in the Olympics, because they were trying to see who was the strongest country, who had the best fighters and things like that, who had the best athletes. It was a deeper message than just sports, okay? Adolf Hitler made a big advertisement. He pushed this, message throughout the country that, they were to be more accepting, getting the people to be accepting and, respectful and not to harm the black athletes that were coming to perform. So by the time the black athletes got there to perform, they were better accepted by the people because there was a campaign that went on prior to the Olympics to make sure the Olympics would go on without a hitch. And there would be no black people getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens. Cha-ching. So this is what they did to prepare the people to be more accepting to us before we came. We got better campaigning for acceptance of our presence from Adolf Hitler than we have from African leadership. Right now, Burkina Faso is building itself, and I am all for it. I support him in any way that I can because I see the greatness in Ibrahim Traore. But you have this group of ECOWAS, the other African leadership, that before this so-called African-American knucklehead, I don't even want to say his name, military guy, okay? Matter of fact, I don't even think I remember his name, but it doesn't even matter because he doesn't deserve a mention. But you know who he is. The house nigga that they didn't put up here to, be the face of their attack on, Burkina Faso. Before him, there's ECOWAS that attempted to go after, which is the other African countries, their whole, team there that attempted to go after Ibrahim Traore and attack him, use their armies against their own people. This is ECOWAS, the other massive countries throughout the continent of Africa coming together to go against one of their own brothers for trying to free themselves from European colonialism. Okay? This is what happened. So now they're saying, oh, a black American is going against Ibrahim Traore and blah, blah, blah. No, he's not the first puppet. ECOWAS was the first puppets. The ones on the same continent were the first puppets to go after their own. And because black people are known to come together and make sure that people that have went up against them, fuck around and find out. Okay? They always come back to calling on us. But yet, when we need support, they don't come out for us. The first time I have seen Africans come out for us was during the George Floyd situation, where they protested because we were on lockdown. Everyone saw it. But as long as black Americans were saying, this is what's happening to us, you don't hear none of them talk anything. They will steal our dances. They will steal our inventions. They will steal anything from us. They will claim it. They will use it. They will monopolize off of it, but show no support to us for anything that they steal from us. And mind you, nobody wanted to come here in the early 1900s. Nobody wanted to come here anytime prior to the early 1900s. Why? Because we were enslaved then. Because we were going through Jim Crow then. Now they're here. The Asians came. Now the Africans came, one country after the next, receiving benefits that would not even be available if it wasn't for the plight of my ancestors. So I should do what? Jump to pack up and move to Africa and do what? Hack my own people? Go against me? Who supposedly are my own people? Turn against me and show me that I am not one of them, especially me particularly, and anyone like me that are of a lighter complexion coming from the US, then I'll be seen as what? A white person, because anybody that is light complected coming from the United States, even though there's so many light complected black people or Africans all over the African continent. If you are light and come from the United States or a European country, then you're considered white. You're not even respected as a black person. You're likely used because they see you as a possible.
We no longer do things to please someone else. We do it for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland.
Africa's time is now, but is its leadership listening?
Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It's our gold, it's our minerals that interest them. Otherwise, why come and drive out entire villages to seize our lands? So we will fight and we will reclaim our lands, our wealth. It belongs to us. It's for us. It will benefit us and our children.
Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso's bold leader, has ignited a firestorm with a scathing speech, slamming the African Union AU and corrupt leaders for failing the continent.
You will hear about the African Union. Yes, it exists. But what is the effect of the African Union in reality? We cannot talk about integration in the theme and not talk about the African Union. Because it is this organization that should unite us, create real integration. But we regret to see these wars that persist on the African continent, killing millions of young people.
His call for unity, self-reliance, and an end to Western exploitation is a wake-up call not just for Africa, but for Kenyans demanding accountability and good governance.
Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations.
Today we unpack Traore's vision and what it means for Kenya's political future. Since taking power in Burkina Faso in 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traore has become a symbol of fearless leadership. His fiery speeches challenge African leaders to reject Western dependence and prioritize their people. Traore's latest address, delivered recently, targets the African Union's failure to foster unity and address crises like terrorism in the Sahel, where Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger struggle without AU support.
For nearly 10 years, the Sahel has been the theater of international terrorism. But we see no support from these organizations to find a solution to this problem.
Enough is enough. If y'all let anything happen to this great African president, I guarantee y'all will feel our energy all around this world. And I'm speaking from the U.S. Y'all need to worry about Mega, because America ain't never been great to my people. Why y'all over there messing with Africa when we got problems right here at home? Why y'all trying to do him like Gaddafi? Y'all hate when my people stand up for their people and they actually support the people. Are y'all mad because he's giving his citizens free health care, free education, when y'all would never do that in America? I cannot stand these colonizers, man. Real talk. I love a strong African leader. Somebody that actually stand with his people or go to war with them, dress like them, work out with them. Look at our president. Look what he built like. Look where his mindset is. That's why they can't even control America, and y'all get mad every time one of my people do something great. If y'all let anything happen to this man, I guarantee you, y'all gonna feel an energy and a rage like never before. Real talk, man. No, what's up with these Uncle Tom generals, 4-star generals, whatever you want to be? But I guarantee you, that general wouldn't want to look at me one-on-one in the ring. Real talk, man. If anybody, man, repost this until the whole world know about it. So if anything happened to them, we can go ahead and go up in an uproar and give these people what they really want. The time is coming and Babylon will fall.
Of Burkina Faso are actually standing with Burkina Faso government, showing their solidarity with the government and telling the world that they do not care about what the West or anyone thinks or what other persons in France protesting against Captain Ibrahim Traore think. They are making a bold statement that they are with Captain Ibrahim Traore come what may. They flooded the streets in their numbers, protesting and standing by Captain Ibrahim Traore. Let's watch the video.
Famille, très très urgent. Coup d'État échoué hier nuit au Burkina Faso. Oui, tu as bien entendu. Coup d'État échoué hier nuit au Burkina Faso. Sortez massivement. Nous allons remercier ce monsieur qu'on appelle le président de la Commission nationale de sécurité d'État, que vous connaissez au nom du commandant Oumarou Yabré. Ce monsieur béni du Burkina Faso. Ce monsieur est béni de la tête des hommes intègres. Oui, lui-même qui était le...
It is reported that the Burkinabe citizens came out to protest in favor of Captain Ibrahim Traore after there was a failed coup attempt against his life. So these guys came out to assure Captain Ibrahim Traore of the fact that they are standing with him come what may, regardless of any circumstance, regardless of anything anyone might be plotting. Now, this is the Burkina Faso citizen we are talking about. We do not know about those in France protesting against Captain Ibrahim Traore who actually do not stay in Burkina Faso to know what is happening in Burkina Faso. We don't care about them. But we stand with the Burkinabe citizens who have pledged their loyalty to Captain Ibrahim Traore. And that is why he will succeed, because he has a whole army and his citizens standing solidly behind him. What do you think about this story? Africa has risen. I wouldn't say Africa uprising. Why? Because African youth are taking it by force. There is a plan for a protest on the 30th of April 2025 in favor of Captain Ibrahim Traore. Finally, after years of the West having their way and going scot-free, we are saying we are tired. And we want them to get their hands off our Captain Ibrahim Traore. Let's watch this video. Now, in the past, how did these guys get their hands on some of our leaders? What they did was to spread propaganda, spread wrong narrative and information concerning our leaders. And that they have done concerning Captain Ibrahim Traore. Let's watch the video of this young man.
Africa and Africans, especially Burkina Faso citizens, who stand by Ibrahim Traore at this point, so that the plan of these Westerners will not come to pass. Now, let me quickly play a video of Idi Amin. Slowly listen to what Idi Amin said, the former president of Uganda.
This is a point which I wanted to bring to your attention. And therefore, with this particular, there is the movement. Therefore, they make news in their news media. Before you can be assassinated, they can focus from the world opinion that you are murderer, you are this, you are this, you are this. But they wanted to draw the attention of the world that you are very bad, while they have already planned everything. But God is there with them.
Did you see that? They operated in this manner. So we've already studied. We know that this is how they operate. And we know they are coming for Captain Ibrahim Traore. And African youths are not going to sit back any longer. Because this is beyond just Burkina Faso. This is now a fight for our nation, fight for our continent, fight for Africa. I got a WhatsApp message on the protest that is to hold on the 30th of April. They said, on the 30th of April 2025, we are raising our voices across every African nation and the diaspora. 1, to defend Traore. 2, to demand sovereignty. 3, to end foreign military control and exploitation. They said, this is not just about one man. This is about the soul of Africa. This is about our future, our resources, our people, our power. If we allow what happened to Thomas Sankara, Gaddafi, and the likes to happen to Burkina Faso's president, Captain Ibrahim Traore, then we are not ready as Africans for revolution. We are not ready to take back Africa from the hands of these Westerners. And we've seen it. We've seen that this is the scheme they use. This is how they plot against our leaders. And they've done it to Captain Ibrahim Traore. Imagine coming out to say that he uses the gold in Burkina Faso to enrich himself. We are not going to sit back and watch them do that. And that is why the youth are taken to the streets to demand that the West gets their hands off our Captain Ibrahim Traore.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I really hope you're all doing fine from wherever you're watching me from. Now, welcome to another episode of Early from Africa. This is where we say the truth, which saves man free. Now, there is need for us to discuss the tension that is in Africa right now. Now, the life of Ibrahim Traore, one of the greatest we have in Africa and in the world right now, is at stake. Yes, his life is at risk because the US is coming after him. He has been discussed in security meetings in the US by the army generals, and the leader of AFRICOM, Michael Langley, mentioned it out that they are not going to sit back and watch him. And you ask yourself, why are they much concerned about Burkina Faso and Africa while they have their own problems? Let Africa be. This is the message we are passing today, that a lot of things have been happening. They have their own problems. We don't meddle. When we have a great leader in Africa, they have always come after him. The same tricks, same people, different governments, they never change, right? The fact is that they do not want to see a prosperous Africa. Ibrahim Traore has been going around making great investments in his own countries, making a lot of developments. We've seen him building factories. We've seen him changing the land policies and doing things that his people love. His people love him so much in that when he wanted to step down so that they could have an election, the people went on the streets and said, no, Mr. President, we want you to continue because it is you who is giving Africa hope. It is you who is giving Burkina Faso hope. So continue on and make sure that you take away these Western bases, army bases that are in Africa. Ibrahim Traore did not actually go to sleep without doing actions. He has taken them out. French army bases are no longer in Burkina Faso. The French airline that was used to carry mineral resources from France is no longer in France. From Burkina Faso to France is no longer operating in Burkina Faso anymore. He has taken a route that less people can do. And he has been doing this in that passing the civic information that is very basic to the people in Africa. Many people in Africa still think the Western countries mean good to this continent, which is quite the opposite, because when we have had great leaders, what has happened to them? When Thomas Sankara rose and he was talking about uniting Africa, what happened to him? Even after we got independence, in the early years of independence, when we had great people like Kwame Nkrumah, when Kwame Nkrumah started talking about one Africa, let's seal these borders. No, let's get away and get rid of these borders so that we could have one Africa. What happened to them? They threw him out of power. When Muammar Gaddafi talked about this, they assassinated him. When we had people like Patrice Lumumba talking about this, what did they do to him? They assassinated him. When we've had great leaders in Africa, they've always made a way to eliminate them. They were doing this because we had no internet back then. So they could write fake news on magazines and newspapers and people could believe them. We have internet right now. You can directly communicate to people in Burkina Faso, the Burkinabes, and they will tell you that Burkina Faso is doing good under Ibrahim Traore, that this man has been able to fight corruption, to fight those corrupt politicians who are looting from the people, that this man is building roads, this man is building hospitals, this man has made education free from kindergarten to the university level, to the highest level that you can go to. Now, these are the achievements that the Western countries do not want to be associated with Africans. They want this to happen in their countries because they know if people are learned in Africa, they will have no place to come and loot and manipulate people. It is easy to manipulate people who have not gone to school. It is easy to manipulate people who do not know what to distinguish between bad and good. It is easy to manipulate them because they manipulated our syllabus. People in Africa are learning about white history instead of black history. Tell me why people in Africa will learn about Abraham Lincoln, and why people in Africa will learn about farming in Netherlands and fishing in Japan. Why people in Africa will learn about the Constitution of the US. How is that going to help Africa? How is that going to help us? How will learning about the industrialization, the industrial revolution that took place in the US and Europe going to help you in Africa? It is not going to help you. Whatever is going to help you is learning about your culture, learning about your history, and going to school to improve the state of Africa. They brought us an education system where people learn without basics. You go to school, learn a lot of theory without the basic knowledge. You have the theory part of it, but no practical part of it. These are the things we are saying no to in Africa right now. We want to change the fate of Africa, and we want to make sure that Africa is united. And a united Africa is way too far a threat to these Western countries. We must change the way we reason. We must change the way we do things, and we must change the way we've been thinking. We can't continue with the same way we've been doing things and expect different results. They have done it several times in Africa, but African youths are now rising against the tides. They are saying no to these things. They are saying no to the manipulation by the Western countries to believe Ibrahim Traore is bad. If Ibrahim Traore is bad, if fighting corruption in Africa is bad, if building schools, hospitals, and saying no to neocolonialism is bad, then what is good for Africa? They talk about democracy. What has democracy done to Africa? They talk about the rule of law in Africa. Have you seen how they have actually looted Africa using the same democracy they talk about? Have you seen the fact that they control the elections in Africa and put their puppet leaders just because they call it democracy? They steal elections in Africa. They manipulate the populations in Africa just to believe that they are good and to tell the people of Africa that doing this is bad. Supporting your own good leaders and Pan-Africanists is a sin to them. They go ahead and call them international terrorists, and they try to sanction these countries for having these good leaders. This is the time we should wake up as black people. It has never been meant good for this continent. It is never going to be good if we still sleep and watch them destroy our leaders. If Ibrahim Traore is bad, then we must not support the corruption that is taking place in other places in Africa where the puppets are in power. We must not accept whatever. So many other Western countries, West Africa countries, have puppets in power. They have looted everything. They are billionaires while the people that they are serving, the people that they represent are so poor. You go to a third world country in Africa and you see a leader moving with a convoy of 70 vehicles, while the people he's serving, they do not have food, they do not have water. That's whatever Ibrahim Traore is talking about. He moves around with a very old car, and people are laughing about it. The politicians in Africa do not love it anymore. They do not take it as a joke. And we are not apologizing for supporting Ibrahim Traore. We're still going to share his visions for Africa. We're still going to share his good deeds to Africa and his good speeches to wake up the African continent and the diaspora. We are still going to do this on this channel. If they want to fight Ibrahim Traore, we are here to support him. We are here to share his messages. Of course, you will never get his good speeches on BBC. On BBC, on CNN, and all these Western medias, they call him an intruder and someone who is a dictator and all those other names. We do not care. If they want, they're interested about democracy, they have their own countries. They can practice democracy in their own countries. We've seen democracy has destroyed Africa. We no longer need democracy in Africa. Democracy is a fallacy that has been used as a tool to exploit and extort Africa. We rise, and we are going to rise again in supporting Ibrahim Traore. Thank you so much.